thing, though, is that Lindsay never wanted to tell me anything for a very long time. So going back, I was thinking there's no way she's going to even talk to me or engage any of that. She's just going to keep shutting me. I'm never going to get any validation on what's going on. Even though I've spoken to Sammy on the phone before, and I had my ideas in my head on what was really going on, I needed something more kind of proof, like evidence that there was an actual relationship between Mary and this person. So that's when I confronted Lindsay about it, and Lindsay started to send me pictures and snippets of recordings, conversations, voicemail. And at that point in time, I reached out to Mary because, listen, you don't put yourself that far out there on the line, whether it's a voicemail or a picture or a letter, if you've not had a relationship with somebody. Nobody in their right mind would do that, as intimate and personal as it was, unless you were having a physical relationship with somebody. And that's when I brought that up to Robin, and I sent the information to Robin, and I probably at that point shouldn't have, but I was still like, I couldn't believe it. What I was hearing, it was like, Robin, you're being lied to by Mary. She's not being honest to you. And that's when I talked to Mary about it. And I told Robin I need to talk to Mary about it. I want to know exactly what's going on. I'm stuck in the middle of all of this. And I need to know what the truth is. You can't, like, I'm sorry, but evidence is evidence. Like, go ahead and twist it any way you want. I still am not going to, I cannot erase the evidence from my mind. It's just not going to go away. Especially the voicemail and the pictures. Because everything she was saying was replying to a conversation she had to have had with this guy. Right? Or a picture was taken in a response to an action he sent to her. So it's not like she's just doing this in midair to some stranger. She can't be that stupid. She's a public figure. I just didn't believe her. I kept telling her, it's okay, Mary. I don't care. I'm not, like, at this point in the stage of everything, I'm not going to sit here and condemn you for loving this person. Or doing these pictures, or sending these voicemails, or sharing your love for somebody. I just want to know what the hell's going on because it's driving me crazy. I have you telling me one thing, and I have Lindsay not telling me anything, just sending me pictures and voicemails. Do you see where the conflict is here? I have your words, Mary, versus everything Lindsay's ever told me has come out to be backed up with an evidence, like actual evidence. Because at the same exact time, articles were coming out saying and stating that I'd given interviews in regards to that Robin and I had actually created this Catfish storyline to get rid of Mary, so that Robin could have Cody all to herself. And then it was Lindsay and I were working together to get rid of Mary, or whatever. Just I don't know. There were all these scenarios that are not true. They're all fake and they're all drummed up. And at no time in between any of this did any of the Browns step forward and say, "No way, that's not true." They never defended the truth publicly, ever. And when I went to Mary, I finally had said to her, I said, Mary, I think the best thing you can do for your family's sake and for your family's sake is just be honest with the actual truth. Don't lie, don't deny, don't whatever. Because you cannot deny the pictures, you cannot deny the voicemail. Mary befriended and still actively is friends on Twitter with, we're talking going 5 years back or so, there were tons of hate groups created against the Brown family for years. These are the people we've been fighting against for years. People that put out all the information about the welfare fraud or, just terrible information about Robin or whatever. Okay? These are the people that did really inappropriate things, memes, and pictures in regards to their children. Very pathetic to reflect these people. Well, within this time period, I was contacted anonymously by a few different women claiming that they had been catfished as well. Same scenario. What's amazing, right? The same scenario, they wouldn't give up their names, identifications, or phone numbers until I got a few calls that were unblocked. They were all kinds of Vegas, which is very ironic, strange, what do you think? And so I asked Mary about it. I reached out to her, and she claimed that she would help anybody that had been through this before. But yet, she was not willing to help these listeners hear their stories. She referred us to the FBI. They had already opened up a case with the FBI, and that was the referral that she wanted us to do. So that's when I went and contacted the FBI for these women. Because my gosh, they were totally taken advantage of. And how terrible is that? And if this is true, this is a terrible thing. And the FBI basically laughed, literally on the phone, and said, well, there is no case. First of all. Second of all, this is nonsense. And we don't have time for this kind of garbage. Take it somewhere else. No, I don't believe there's catfish, because a catfish scenario, very common, typical catfish, according to Neve Schulman from the Catfish Show, and Neve and Matt, okay? A catfish never wants to be discovered. A catfish will hide behind another person's identity. An actual person's identity. So there is actually a traceable human being attached to a catfisher, okay? It's not some imaginary person made up. There's actually somebody there that they're pretending to be. This is how 99.9% cases are. Once a catfish is caught, they usually disappear or they never want to be heard of again. They don't continue to put themselves out there publicly. They don't catfish celebrities most of the time, and if they do, they disappear. They don't want to be caught. Most of the catfishers out there are people that are just insecure, who've had a tough time, and they just wanted a little attention. Well, once they get the attention or they get caught, they're gone. So in my opinion, if this is a true catfish scenario, why is everyone still around? It doesn't make any sense. Especially after all this horrific nonsense. People are still around. But see, I'm going to go back to my own soapbox and my own little tower here, and I still don't care. And I think I made this clear multiple times to everybody involved. At the end of the day, I still don't care what happened. What really truly happened was, here's a family that's supposed to be the public, polygamy, whatever you want to call them, role models out there to bring the nations, the world, whatever together to understand that this is a possibility, that families can live in, many different ways, whether it be gay, straight, polygamy life, multiple wives, whatever. They can be happy, fully functioning, honest, good families. They had their chance. They had the best platform to portray this in, and it's turned into a complete mess and a complete joke. And it's taken a lot of people down with them. And that's the problem. And at the end of the day, she made a decision to step outside of her marriage and seek love elsewhere. And I don't care how the scenario turned out in other people's minds. I don't care what she's trying to say happened. And the sad part is that back to square one. after all this came about and the discussions had happened between Robin and I reached out to Mary and said that we really need to talk. Again, this is via the phone. And that's when I let her know that I've been heavily in communication with Lindsay and Daniel, and that unfortunately, because at like a week or so, I guess, prior, Robin had convinced me that this was fake and that Mary was being catfished. It was not real, that there was no man. And so I approached Lindsay with a bit of frustration, or I was pretty much pissed because I know what was going on and I knew what was happening. Then I had this family over here telling me that there's nothing ever happened, she never met anybody, and all this nonsense. And I was like, okay, well, that's just great. And then Lindsay's like, well, okay, I guess the best thing to do is prove to you